If you want to move money across borders today, you almost certainly have to use the US dollar and the SWIFT banking system. This gives the United States tremendous leverage. By telling banks they cannot process specific transactions, American authorities can effectively erase a country from the global economy. When the U.S. administration implemented the sanctions, the goal was total economic isolation. The policy strictly forbade banks worldwide from transferring dollars to Iran, intending to cut them off from every major international market. The mathematical impact on the ground was immediate. Because no dollars could flow into the country, the Iranian fiat currency, the rial, plummeted in value so severely that the government had to strip zeros off their banknotes just to maintain the appearance of value. Traditional economic models suggest a regime should collapse under this level of financial strangulation. Yet, Iran stayed afloat. They managed to survive by quietly constructing a hidden $8 billion economy. The survival mechanism was state-sponsored cryptocurrency. By moving transactions onto decentralized blockchains, the Iranian government found a way to bypass the dollar entirely. While much of the world views crypto as a speculative investment, Iran used it as a daily utility. They treated digital tokens as a functional currency for settling routine, cross-border payments that banks would otherwise block. This repurposing changed the nature of the blockchain. A tool once associated with internet speculators became state-backed economic armor, specifically designed to withstand U.S. financial pressure. The strategy starts with a logistical trap. Iran possesses massive reserves of crude oil, but international law prevents them from loading it onto ships and selling it for traditional currency. This flowchart reveals the solution. Instead of exporting, the government burns 4% of its embargoed crude domestically to generate massive amounts of subsidized electricity. This power flows directly into warehouse-sized server racks, mining new crypto tokens to bypass financial monitoring. The state expanded the scale of this operation by subsidizing the domestic power grid, actively encouraging everyday citizens to build their own crypto factories and mine on the government's behalf. Ultimately, this specific pipeline converts embargoed physical resources into liquid digital wealth that moves through the shadow economy. Once the money is minted, moving it is a matter of anonymous single-key transfers. By shifting away from banking networks to internet-based transactions, the regime can move funds wherever they are needed. But they also force international compliance at sea. At the Strait of Hormuz, Iranian authorities began demanding a $1 per barrel toll from passing international tankers. If a shipping company attempts to pay that toll in US dollars, it triggers international alarms. To keep their ships moving, these companies are coerced into paying the equivalent value in cryptocurrency. This network reaches into the dark web as well. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard currently offers over 3,000 types of weapons for sale, with the strict requirement that every transaction must be settled in crypto. By demanding digital tolls and selling arms for tokens, Iran forces foreign entities to participate in its parallel system, proving that a shadow economy can function on a global scale. Back in Washington, the realization hit that traditional blockades had ultimately failed. The same barriers that successfully trapped physical oil tankers were ineffective against decentralized computer networks. The response was a shift in tactics known as Operation Economic Fury. If you cannot block the network itself, you have to hunt and compromise the individual digital wallets. International cyber teams now analyze the blockchain, looking for the digital fingerprints left by the miners and hackers who maintain the Iranian network. This hunt has recently yielded massive results. U.S. authorities have successfully located and seized Iranian-linked wallets containing $500 million and $344 million, respectively. Geopolitical conflict has entered a completely new phase. It is no longer just about halting ships, but about an invisible arms race of hacking, tracking, and seizing digital assets. Despite these recent seizures, Iran's multi-year survival has provided a stress-tested blueprint for dodging U.S. financial control. This is no longer an isolated tactic. Other heavily sanctioned nations, including Venezuela, have actively adopted this exact crypto evasion playbook. The traditional foundation of global power relied on the mandatory use of the US dollar. That foundation is now competing against a decentralized shadow network that operates outside Western jurisdiction. cryptocurrency has become a strategic weapon of statecraft, successfully eroding the long-standing financial dominance of the United States.